Beatissimo Padre, Most Holy Father, before you are the representatives of the bishops, priests, religious men and women, and lay faithful of the Philippines and of Asia. In their name, I welcome you to our country, to the city of Manila, and to the Cathedral Basilica of the Immaculate Conception. Welcome. Benvenuto. We are filled with joy, for you are with us, especially in the first Eucharistic celebration of your pastoral visit. The Manila Cathedral is the first cathedral in the Philippines. It can be considered a symbol of the Filipino people. Fire destroyed the first cathedral. The succeeding 5 cathedrals were either partially or totally damaged by earthquakes, the most massive of which struck in 1863, burying in rubble the members of the cathedral chapter, the choir, and the lay faithful. The 7th cathedral was mercilessly bombed along with the other buildings in the walled city of Manila, Intramuros, during the Battle of Liberation in 1945. We are gathered today, Your Holiness, in the 8th cathedral building, and we closed it 3 years ago for repairs. Now it is open and it warmly welcomes you. This cathedral has been razed to the ground many times, but it refuses to disappear. It boldly rises from the ruins, just like the Filipino people. Yes, Holy Father, we bishops, priests, and religious men and women have seen and have lived the suffering, but also the determination of our people. We are afflicted in every way possible, but we are not crushed. What is the secret of the resilience of the Filipinos? Father Horacio de la Costa, your confrere, a Jesuit, historian, writer, priest, religious, and nationalist, provides an insight. He said that the Filipino has two treasures. We have two wealths: music and faith. La musica e la fede. Our melodies make our spirits soar above the tragedies of life. Our faith makes us stand up again and again after deadly fires, earthquakes, typhoons, and wars. And now, as many of our poor people are just beginning to rise from recent natural and human-made calamities, as we are struggling, you, Holy Father, came to us. You bring fire. You bring fire, not to destroy, but to purify. You bring an earthquake, not to shatter, but to awaken. You bring weapons, not to kill, but to assure, to encourage. Indeed, you are Peter, the rock upon which Jesus builds his church. You are Peter. You are Peter who comes to strengthen your brothers and sisters in faith. We welcome you, successor of Peter, to this blessed land of untiring hope, of infinite music, and of joyful faith. With your visit, we know Jesus, only Jesus, will renew and rebuild his church in the Philippines. Mabuhay po kayo, Santo Padre.
Earlier today, before the Pope celebrated his final Mass in Manila, in the Philippines, he met with some 20,000 college students as well as a number of young people who had, in the early part of their life, had to live on the street to survive. And the Pope said to them, as they were relating how difficult that was in the early times of their life, and the Pope, in commenting on that, as well as the typhoon that took so many victims and caused so much suffering, he said that many have forgotten how to cry with others, to share with them compassion in their own suffering. And when he saw the typhoon that had happened there, that was when he had really decided to make this pastoral trip to Asia, to the Philippines. And at the final Mass, there were some 6 million people or more that gathered in the rain there for the final Mass, showing, the great devotion, the strong devotion of the Philippine people. I remember when we were recording the Church Universal series, we had the members of the Couples for Christ, which is predominantly made up of Philippine people, but it's all over the world in some 100 countries, that they were talking about the Philippine diaspora. In the beginnings of the church, that the apostles got driven out of Jerusalem because of persecution. But what we're seeing in the Filipino people going to various countries to find work, or what they are bringing there, whether it's in the Middle East or our own country and other places, is that they're bringing that strong faith that is so evident in the Philippine people that we've seen during the Holy Father's pastoral visit with, as I said, over 6 million people coming to the final Mass there in the Philippines.
Immaculate Mother, to you do we plead. To ask God our Father for help in our need. Ave, Ave, Ave Maria, Ave, Ave, Ave Maria. We pray for our country, the land of our birth. We pray for all nations, that peace be on earth. Ave, Ave, Ave Maria, Ave, Ave, Ave Maria.